Hi, I am Milo Shapiro, and I have been a guest on dozens of podcasts like yours. And I'd love to tell you a little bit more about my background to see if maybe we're a fit. So, my actual background is I was in IT, but for many years I was doing improvisation. In fact, I've done improv for over 30 years. And in 2000, I left my IT job to start a company called Improv Ventures, doing team building events using improv games. Improv teaches us about listening skills, building on each other's ideas, creative problem solving. So what I was finding in my team building classes was people were saying, this is what happens in our staff meeting. Or my client pulled this junk on me on the phone the other day. It wasn't funny then, but it's kind of funny here. And we get to process these work situations through the improv games. Well, people at my team building classes were saying to me, this is really powerful. You should do this with bigger crowds, not just little 10 to 20 groups, but like hundreds, like a motivational speaker. So I got involved with the National Speakers Association and learned the business of keynote speaking and developed a program called We Gotta Fail to Succeed. Because one of the main lessons of improv is that we need to be able to make mistakes along the way and not let that stop us. But so many people are so afraid of failing or afraid of failing in front of others that they don't take those steps, and it keeps them from achieving their brilliance. So that makes a really interesting topic for a podcast about how we do that in our lives and how to get over it. The unexpected offshoot of my team building and speaking work was that people kept coming up to me after my speeches and saying, would you work with me on my speaking skills? Would you come in and work with my staff on their speaking skills? First, I just said no, but I had years of Toastmasters work and years with the National Speakers Association. So I finally said, okay, and boom, it took off. I became 70% speaking coach, 20% speaker, 10% team building. And I don't care which one the phone rings for. I'm happy to do all three. But a lot of people know they need to do that thing of improving their public speaking, whether it's for work or some other places. And there are dozens of things we can do to help them get there. There's this unfortunate belief that if you know English and you know your topic, you should be able to give a presentation. And there's a lot more to learn. So the fear goes away as we learn how to do it right. And I've watched hundreds of people go from scared to successful as speakers. So we can speak on just public speaking skills. We can talk entirely about that fear of failure stuff that I talked about, or some podcasts, especially if they're a little longer, do both. I've had a few who booked me for one and enjoyed me so much, they had me back for the other. That's a discussion we can have another time. But mostly I wanted you to know who I was, what I do, and see if it intrigued you. One last thing worth mentioning over here, you might see it says photo editor. How does that fit into anything? And the answer is we are all multi-talented and multi-interested individuals. And why should we limit ourselves to just one thing? I love Photoshop and have a lot of fun with it. I'll share an example or two just to take these photos from the past and make them nice again. Things that could have been bad so that people can enjoy it. Maybe catching one person out of that corner and including them in things. So while that isn't usually quite such a fit for the auditory purposes of podcasting, so visual, every once in a while someone wants to bring it up. So it's been a pleasure talking to you, and if you're interested, reach back out to me. Maybe I'll see you on your show.